Bible says that in the last days that many shall be covenant breakers. And I know we look at that based upon the church relationship. But look at your marriage. How many times we make vows and how many times that we make commitments that we break. And really the problem is not the individual, it may be us. I wrote my first book about facing what's beneath the surface, tugging between love and war. And I really want you to look at, have you really discovered what's valuable? And if you haven't discovered what's valuable, then how do you know what it's worth? And if you don't know what it's worth, then you really haven't found you. So stay tuned to this and see the inside scoop to find you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Couch Conversations with Shatara. I am extremely excited today because I get to interview my loving, amazing, awesome, God-fearing, wise, compassionate husband. This man is great, okay? I cannot wait to share him with you guys because he has so much insight and wisdom that the world needs to see. And so I'm super excited about this. And guys, I want to welcome you in to the Couch Conversations with my loving husband, Jonathan. Say hey, babe.
Hey, world.
So we're going to jump right in, okay? So I'm just going to go straight in because you just dropped a book. Oh my God, that is amazing. The fact that you were able to write this book, the whole mental capacity, everything you had to go through to get this book written, to get everything going, and to have it published and ready to go now. Like, show us your book.
This is the book, Facing What's Beneath the Surface, and then I subtitled it Tugging Between Love and War.
That is amazing. Okay, let's just get into it then. So, what made you want to write a book, Jonathan?
We went to Mississippi. We was working for this other company. We went to Mississippi, and I met this lady, and her name is Mama Sin, and well, that's what we call her, Mama Sin. But met this lady, got to talking with her, and I always did want to write a book, but never really put that much thought into it. And when I met her, she just was like, you know, you got a couple of books in you, you know. And we got to talking, and we was talking more on the spiritual side, and she started telling me some things that she see, and it was kind of going into what I had in mind. So I was like, man, I think I should actually pursue it.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to give Mama Sense all the credit because I can remember telling you on numerous occasions, husband, to write a book. You know, Mama Sense confirms it. Mama Sense, you laid it down on him. You confirmed it for him, you know.
Yeah, but I would say like
a book has always been in you.
Yeah, but you kind of like really pushed it. Like, you know, like you my pusher. I mean, she really like actually, you know, like gave life to the vision. Mm-hmm. But like you really the pusher. Like, I mean, I probably wouldn't even started if you wouldn't have been pushing me. You know, like for anybody know my wife, like she's a real pusher, a real pusher. So it's like get the job done or don't do it at all. I mean, less talking and more action.
That's me?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh.
So I really, you know, like, and then my editor, she's a, you know, she was on me and they were on me. I mean, I literally wrote the book in 60 days?
60 days, a little bit over 60 days.
Yeah, about
65 days, something to that nature. Okay, why a book about relationships though? Because the title of it is Facing What's Beneath the Surface, Tugging Between Love and War. So this is a relationship book. So why a relationship book?
I think I just got tired of seeing young couples really going through the stages of breaking up, going through divorce. You know, nobody wants to stick it through. Nobody wants to work anything out. They just, get together, either have kids and then they leave the kids, abandon the kids, and then they just go on with life. And it's like our generation is like that's what we've become. We become the mother raised the kids while the father's gone and he has another family, and if he stays in that family. So I just got tired of seeing that type of relationship from a generation that is so inclined and so knowledgeable about a bunch of stuff, but then we can't stick it through a lot of stuff, like such as relationship or even marriage. Nobody knows anything about a commitment anymore. Nobody wants to stay the course and actually deal with a person, because at the end of the day, you have to deal with a whole nother person that's not like you. So it's kind of bothersome to see people 35 going on 40 years old going on their second or third marriage. And it's like we started young and I didn't want it and I didn't realize what I was getting into, so I kind of backed out of it. And then I really wish I had the first marriage. My first husband was good, and but I mean the mistake or whatever's over with.
Right.
So it's like you either move on or you stay stuck.
And we know that divorce is at an all-time high, and I just believe with everything in me that the enemy fights unity. And so if the marriage sticks, if you stay in the marriage, then there's unity, there's togetherness. Right. And when you're together, when there's oneness, then you can get more accomplished. There's more love. There's so much more that can happen when there's unity versus when there's division. And the enemy fights unity and wants to get division going on. So he puts the husband and wife against each other, and then it ends up in divorce because people aren't strong enough to withstand it, because people don't understand what it is to be in a relationship, what it takes to be married, what it really is to maintain and hold a marriage. And that was one of the good things about this book, that I love the fact that you and I were able to come together and say, you know what, we've been together 10 years, and of this relationship, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, everything that we've been through, we have something that we can offer to somebody else. Because there's many times when I wanted to go. There's many times when you wanted to go. There's many times when we didn't get along. There were many times when things were bad. And there was so many times when things were good. But sticking it out, understanding our vows. And, I'm 31. You're 35. We're young. But we just understand what it takes. What it's supposed to be. You have parents that have been married for forever. Neither of my parents have ever been married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we come from two different sides of the fence.
Yeah. I mean, you say 35 like I'm old or something.
No, I said it because I always forget your age. I have to remember how much older you are than me. I always just forget your age. I didn't mean it like anything else. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, you're 35. We're young. And at 35 and at 31, being married for 10 years, that is a huge milestone.
Yeah, I think people don't really see the real value in having a commitment. Like you said, my parents have been married, I think 44, 45 years. Nobody knows about commitment. Nobody knows about going through certain things. I mean, you're dealing with another person. They're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. And it's very easy to point the finger at somebody else, but you never can see you. It's easy to pinpoint a lot of fault in somebody else, but when you can't see you can only focus on them. So when I wrote this book, I started off wanting to talk about relationships, but when I got deeper into the book, I started finding things out about my own self. And I think going through a relationship, most people focus on the spouse or they focus on the other person. But they leave themselves out. And you can't better the other person unless you better yourself.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. One thing you said was commitment, not understanding, not knowing commitment, all these different things. There's nobody to teach people about commitment. When you look at people nowadays, we're inclined to social media. We're inclined to TV, VH1, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, all these different things. So when we look at that, we see dysfunction.
Right.
We don't see what it looks like to function. We don't see what a healthy marriage, what a healthy relationship look like. So we do what we see. There aren't many people who's on TV. Nobody don't want to see what it look. They don't want to see what a good marriage look like. They want to see the dysfunction. That's what makes life what it is. That's why everybody's divorce is at an all-time high. That's why you're so easy to throw in a towel.
Right.
That's why things are so easy to come crumbling down, because nobody don't know what it looks like. They don't have parents that's been married all their lives. They didn't come from a 2-parent home. They don't know what it looked like to actually be in a healthy relationship, to be in a committed relationship, to take it serious and take their vows serious. People don't know. So we're living in an age where we have something great. We have something rare, and we have to showcase it. Mm-hmm. We have to be okay with showcasing what it looks like. This is normal. We have ups, we have downs, we fuss, we argue. We do all those different things in marriage, and be honest, because marriage is a full-time job. Right. I love him today, and I can't stand him tomorrow. Really? Okay?
I didn't know you felt like that. I'm
sorry. Now you know.
No, I'm just playing. No.
You know? And like, you can say the same thing.
Well, I'm in, like, you know, I'm a part of my life is ministry. So when you look at marriage is just like ministry. It's not a difference in it, because in ministry you're always in a position to give out.
Yes.
You're always in a position to serve.
Yes.
So marriage is the same way. You don't serve yourself.
You serve the other person.
You serve the other person.
Yeah.
So it's a ministry that's in itself that God ordained for two people that take vows. Well, really, you're actually in a partnership.
Yeah, you are.
And if two partners can't coincide, like you can't get an NFL team. You got a running back and a quarterback, and they don't have
gel.
this chemistry together. If they have no chemistry, then why are they on the same team?
Mm-hmm. Or how are they gonna win?
Or you can't have two people that have ego issues. Mm-hmm. One person want to be at the top, and then the other person want to be at the top also. Like you can't have this power struggle. It has to be a give and take type thing. Mm-hmm. I have to know your strengths and your weakness, mm-hmm. and where your strength is normally my weakness.
Correct.
And where your strength is normally, you know, where I fall weak. Mm-hmm. So it's
complement each other.
Yeah, so it's the same. Like, I don't want a person that's compatible to me, because I'm me. I can be me all day long. So why would I want a person that's just like me? Right. No, I want another person that is almost the total opposite. That when I fall short, that this person can assist me in an area to get me going.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Other than when you have that, then you have chemistry. Mm-hmm. You don't take a magnet and put a plus and a plus and think that it's gonna stick. No, you put a minus and a plus together. Mm-hmm. That causes it to stick. So when people look at relationships, I want my soulmate, or I want a certain person, and really you won't find him.
Yeah,
because it's real work.
Yeah,
it's real work.
It's really
if you want it to work,
yeah,
then you have to put in the work.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. What is your intake on relationships?
Oh man, it is the next thing to commitment. Mm-hmm. I mean, in a relationship, all you're doing is you're building a stage to build trust. You're building commitment. You're building loyalty between the both of you. Openness. So even though you're not married, you're going to the next. So we say stages or level, but most people that are in a relationship, all you're doing is laying the foundation of where you want to go. If the foundation in a relationship is shaky, then the marriage is going to.
Correct.
Don't think that you're going into a relationship and that you thinking that I'm going in a relationship like this, but when I get married, it's going to be different. Change. No, that's not the mindset of the individual. If I can get away with it in a relationship, then I'm definitely going to get away with it in a marriage.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
So you have to set yourself up. I look at relationship as a preparation stage. That's
good.
That's why you prepare yourself for where you want to go.
If you want to
If you want to go to a certain place and you don't prepare yourself, then you're unprepared and you're gonna fail.
So let me ask you this question. So people in relationships, I know that there are couples who are just in a relationship and they haven't gotten a ring, they aren't engaged or anything, but they treat their mate as if it's their husband. What do you say about that? Do you say that that is a good thing to do in the relationship stage of things? You know.
I mean, for me, I don't think it's such a good thing because you get a person complacent and they get stagnated. Yeah, they get stagnated in where they are, and that's how it's been for a while. So it's cool. But then when you start putting like certain restrictions on a person, then hey, I have no ties. So it becomes a problem. But and I wouldn't say putting a ring on it makes it a commitment like because it's all based on the individual. It's all based on them. And if the person is that mature enough, and maybe they're immature, really. Maybe they're immature not to take the next step. Or maybe they're not ready.
But does that mean so I can't treat you like a husband if you're just a boyfriend? Because I just believe this within myself. I just believe that if I treat you like a husband and I don't have the ring or I don't have the, we're not married, then why are you going to marry me? If I give you everything, then what is there to look forward to? When you're in a relationship, there's levels to a relationship. You're building to the marriage because you're unlocking something at every level of the relationship. I've unlocked this as your girlfriend. I've unlocked this as your fiance. And now as your wife, you get the full benefit of, I'm growing to be, all of these different things. I'm learning to be the wife. I'm learning to be the woman. I'm learning to be, who it is that I am for myself, but also who I am for my husband, because you get to learn different sides of the man as well.
I would say this. I would say before I even get in that stage, I would kind of prepare myself for what I want to do. I won't so much as get in a relationship if I haven't prepared myself for where I'm trying to go.
So you mean date intentionally? Be in a relationship intentionally. I'm not gonna get in a relationship with you if you're not ready for marriage and you don't want to be married, then I won't date you.
Well, you can't say that because you're gonna really have to feel a person out. Like you don't know what their intentions are, so you go through the thing. But I would call it research. Do your research. Look at the person's background. Their experience in life. Look at their maturity. Look at where they're trying to go. Sometimes like I wrote in the book about red flags. Sometimes we completely ignore the red flags. Like this guy has a reputation of cheating. Or he has a reputation of his anger. He has anger problems or whatever the case may be. And then we completely overlook it because of love. When love is just based on a feeling. So you're so wrapped up and caught up into a feeling that you don't know if this person holds that type of value. When really, we should be looking for the value in the individual. Because if they don't have any value in them, how can they bring value out of you?
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Like they can really tear you down.
Yeah. And tear you down, and you won't even see it. It's not a physical tear down. It can be an emotional tear down. It can be a mental tear down. Like that is toxic relationships and toxic people. We've all heard that saying, hurt people hurt people. If hurt people, then think about what great people do. If you're great and you have this great mentality, you have this great mindset, you have this great aura about yourself, imagine what you can do for the other person. Bring greatness out of them. So my next question to you is, you've been married for 10 years to moi. How has these 10 years been?
Work.
Tell the people. Tell the truth.
It's really been good. It's been bad. But to sum it up, it's really been a real learning experience. And not so much as learning you, learning me. Because most of the time we look at how we're going to benefit our spouse or what we can do for them to make it better. When really you the answer. But most of the time we don't invest that much in ourselves. So then when we try to give us to them, it's not enough. It's almost like we're on empty and we're trying to give you the fumes off of us and give you the leftovers. Or it's vice versa, But it never comes to the sense to where, you know, it really is real chemistry. You know, it makes you stop exploring each other. I think I got her figured out already. I know what she like. I know what she want. I mean, man, women change their clothes every season. They deal with different colors and stuff like that. So you can't say that I have a woman and I know exactly what she wants. No, she might like Louis Vuitton one day and then like Gucci the next. You know, so you really don't know. It's almost like this exploring game or this journey that you go on, that you have to deal with a person. You're forever learning. You get in marriage. You don't get in marriage to say that y'all married and y'all have a mutual agreement that we're gonna marry each other, have kids, we're gonna build this career, have a house. No, I mean that's America's way, but that's not the plan. I mean, what fun are you having?
Right. Okay, I would say for me, honest moment. Marriage saved me. It saved me. I just feel like the different things that I was doing. I got married. We've been married 10 years. I'm 31. So I got married at what, 19, 20? So I hadn't even made 21 to be, to be legal, to do all these different things. And I was fast in the nightlife. Not, I had I was doing a lot of different things. And I feel like marrying you saved me. I would tell you, and I've said this to you on numerous occasions in the beginning of our relationship, God sent me a husband before I could pray for one. I wasn't ready for the type of commitment that you were ready for. I wasn't ready to be the person that you needed at that time. I wasn't ready for that. I was younger. I was having fun. It was all those different things. And me recognizing and understanding that, guys, if this was heaven sent, that I went ahead and was like, you know what? I just have to do what it is that I have to do and learn along the way. Thank God that you were patient enough, that you were loving enough, that you were caring enough to say, you know what? Along this process of her learning, I'm going to stick with her. But I just believe that marriage saved me. So in our 10-year span, I went from immaturity to being the woman that God called me to be for you. So if I had not stuck it out, because I've wanted to leave, like I said, honest moment, like I've wanted to leave in the premature years of our marriage. So we wouldn't be at this place where we are, to be able to be a powerhouse, to be able to dominate the kingdom of the enemy. We wouldn't be at this place right now. You and I were called together for a purpose. And had I stayed in that mature phase, and had I continued to be feeble-minded, then we wouldn't be where we are now. It took a lot of learning. It took a lot of, love wasn't enough. And in 10 years, it took 10 years to understand that, wait, we here. This is such a huge milestone for us that we could actually we can sit down and write something to other people for them to know that marriage isn't a cakewalk. It ain't all good. It ain't all gravy. That's not what it is. You have those moments. I've had moments of insecurity. You've had moments of jealousy. We've had all these different moments, and people need to understand that when you get married, you have to be ready and prepared for that. This is not, it isn't oh yeah, I'm just gonna get married and that's what it's gonna be. It's more than that.
You say something real key. Like you can't really base it off love. If you base it off love, then it's really like a bunch of feelings and emotions involved that are really gonna play a trick on you when mad day comes.
Yes, because they fluctuate.
So you really have to make a conscious decision about what do you want to do, and am I really ready to get involved in a situation with another person, because you really have the other person's feeling involved. So you don't want to misguide them or mistreat them in a way, because if I want to leave to today or tomorrow, then I could potentially hurt you for the next person. And you don't want to do that because, I mean, I've seen divorces where, people got married, but they never moved on from the first marriage. Where they still stained and they still hurt from the first marriage.
And they carry those hurt, they carry that hurt, they carry that bitterness, they carry that insecurity, they carry that mistrust, they carry all of that into the next relationship when that man or woman don't deserve that, or didn't, don't bring to the table what they're used of, or what they're bringing, to it. So I'm just saying, that's why I asked you, like, what has your marriage been 10 years within this whole 10-year course? Because people need to understand that, yeah, we made it to 10 years, but we trying to do forever. Like, your parents been married for 44 years. Like, I'm trying to be at 44 and say, 44 years and say, man, let me help you. Let me show you this, because we don't have that in our generation, to show people what it's like and, what it is to be transparent enough to, to let you know that, yeah, get married and it works. Marriage works.
I mean, you basically gotta be selfless. It has nothing to do with you.
I mean, and I'm not that selfless, so thank God for you.
I mean, it has nothing to do with you. You always, I mean, whether you're a man, I mean, men in general have to be real giving. They have to be real giving. I mean, I know most men look at it as I'm the head of the house, or I'm the man in the relationship, so I'm dominant. And it's not so much about being dominant, because if you understand leadership, a person always, he's willing to extend himself. He's willing to go beyond. He's willing to be the example himself. So I look at it like I should always be the first one to do, or the first one to lead by example. Or if I want something done, then if I don't do it, then how you able to get it?
So let's be honest. Sometimes you get tired of doing it first.
Yeah, then I gotta complain.
Sometimes you get tired of doing it first.
Yeah, I gotta complain. I mean, because
you gotta complain.
Yeah, because at some point, you want
your spouse to catch on. You want your spouse to say, you know what, I'm showing what it is.
Say lay your foot down, but I mean, it's really no letting no foot down. It's about compromise. Some people just have to compromise. Like, I understand that might not be somebody's strong suit.
Correct.
So what do? You assist a person, in certain areas, but the other person that's being assisted has to also see, man, this person really trying to help me out. Let me grasp, what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So why did you name the book the title Facing What's Beneath the Surface? Why did you name that Facing What's Beneath the Surface?
Because I think we don't face what's on the inside. We focus so much on the exterior of who we are and what we trying to be, instead of dealing with, whether it was childhood issues, whether it was issues from a previous relationship, or whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to be real open. It has to build up to a certain thing for people to actually get it. Mm-hmm. And it's like we done been years and years of dealing with each other, and I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Vulnerable. Nobody want to be vulnerable.
So most people don't, I'm saying most people, most men can't express themselves to a woman, because they feel like if I express myself too much, I gave them too much of me.
Or you feel weak?
Yeah, I feel weak. And most women won't do it because I don't want him to control me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give him all to me like that so he could play mind games with me or whatever. And, on the spiritual side, the Bible says that perfect love casts out all fear. Mm-hmm. So really, I'm walking in fear, but I'm saying I'm in love. Mm-hmm. But then you think that I'm going to have a perfect and a complete relationship, when it's really false, because I have walls that I've built up based upon being hurt. Or fearful. Or I'm afraid that this is going to happen or that's going to happen, so I build walls around me.
Yeah.
Because I have to gate my own self, my own feelings from this person. But this the person you say you love.
And I can attest to that. I've had moments where I've had in our marriage for a long time, I've had walls.
Right.
And you've said it on numerous times. When are you gonna knock those walls down? When are you gonna let those walls fall? Like, I showed you consistently that this is who I am. You know, I had previous hurt growing up, and I brought that hurt into our marriage that allowed me to have walls up to say that, you know what? When you act like that or when you do that, I remember this happened there, so I remember what that, you know, what was the result of that. So I have this wall to protect me from what could potentially happen, you know. So it's good you say that the Bible said that love casts out all fears, but then at the same time, how do you help people that, you know, the fear is there? Like, it's so hard to knock that wall down, and I am a living witness to it. You've lived with it.
Well, how you really know you love somebody unless you open yourself up for hurt? There's always you always have an opposite of something. If there's an up, there has to be a down. Mm-hmm. If there's an in, there has to be an out. Mm-hmm. So with love is the same way. How can you actually say you love someone if you don't open yourself up to be hurt? And not saying that you're gonna get hurt.
Right.
It's the fact that I'm entrusting this person with all of my feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. So if I'm entrusting in them, do they have enough ability or see that much value in me to say, I'm not going to play games with them. I'm going to make a full commitment. I'm going to do right by them. Mm-hmm. And that's when you build the foundation off of that. You don't build the foundation based on mistrust, because you're going to always mistrust the person. Mm-hmm. I'm going to always think that they're going to do something, or I'm waiting on the next opportunity. I'm waiting to see if this happens again.
Yeah, I get that.
So you really building up a bunch of walls in case something happens again, so you can prepare yourself for the hurt.
Mm-hmm. And then that's not real love.
Well, I mean, you can say it's love because it's feelings. Mm-hmm. But when you look at it, like you were saying, like, we base everything off love, and that's the thing. Like, love should be almost the last thing. Like, if you look at God love towards every person that was created is settled.
Right.
You can't do no more. You can't do no less.
Right.
You can't, even if you're in sin or not sin, like, God loves you. His love is settled.
Right.
So why would you think God loves you any less because you did this or you did that? Mm-hmm. Same way with us.
Right.
So you look at marriage as the same concept. Mm-hmm. Why should I base things that I do that they love me?
Yeah.
Because we need affirmation.
Affirmation. That's good. So then why tugging between love and war? Because you have it subtitled, tugging between love and war. Why that?
I think the tug pulls you closer together. Because most people think that there's a winner in tug of war. Mm-hmm. When sometimes there is no winner. Mm-hmm. Both people either give out or one gives in. Mm-hmm. Same way in a relationship. Well, what made y'all get married? Somebody had to give in. Mm-hmm. Or they had to come to an agreement where, you know what, we're going to stop playing and we're going to do it for real. Mm-hmm. But it's different with war. War, you only have one winner. There's only a person that conquers, and there's a person that is defeated. Mm-hmm. And every war doesn't end well. Mm. It ends up in destruction, disaster. You know, with relationship, man, some things just end up in total disaster. And you mess the other person completely up while you move on with your life.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Too much.
Definitely. Can relationships and marriage become toxic? And what's your advice on going forward? Thinking about relationship as a whole. Thinking about relationship as, you know, a marriage, a friendship, any type of relationship. You know, what's your take on it becoming toxic, and what's your take on moving forward from the toxic?
Yeah, it definitely becomes toxic. Especially when you put other people in it and you get other people involved, other people's opinion. I mean, with friendship, whether it's friendship, relationship, or marriage. You know, the Bible talks about seeking wise counsel. Mm-hmm. And I don't think everybody seeks wise counsel. I think we go to a place to where it's comfortable.
Yeah, comfort.
Where we're familiar.
Comfort, familiarity. That is true.
And we focus on people that's going to tell us anything to soothe our feelings instead of tell us something that'll get us from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. So we talk to people that we can confide in only to a certain extent. You know, tell me a little bit about, you know, but I want you to hear my side, and you stress your side. But I really don't want to be corrected. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the people we go to comfort the most.
Mm-hmm. And what makes the relationship toxic? How can we allow the toxins to come in when we deal with unmarried people, or we deal with people who are opposite from what we're going through, and we allow their stuff to come in. We allow, their burdens or different things like that. That's how the toxins come in.
You said it, yeah. Dealing with getting advice from a person that's single, I'm single, so we're married, and I'm gonna tell you everything about my husband and this and that. Well, they can't really relate to you,
right?
Like they can get on your level, but they can't. They haven't experienced, and even if they did, are they giving you the right advice because maybe they got divorced or maybe they separated because of them, but they're blaming it on the other person. So I never give a person my perspective on my marriage. I didn't write this book based upon this is a 1-2-step rule how to fix your marriage or how to fix your relationship. I wrote it to where you can see certain things and issues that you can refocus things within back yourself. On you, not so much on the other person. Because I think we do a good job of that. I mean, way back in the Garden of Eden, you see the first thing when God confronted Adam, they start blaming each other, and that's what we're good at doing. We're good at pointing the finger. It's easy to point the finger at the other individual and point out what they're not doing, when you really can't point the finger at you and saying what you're not doing.
What you're not doing. Is there such thing as a perfect marriage?
No.
So we ain't perfect?
No. Oh. No. For the record, I am imperfect. Look, she putting it on thick about I'm the great. No, I'm still learning.
We both are.
I'm still learning. Like this is life's journey with a person that you want to experience it with. I'm talking about every day, every experience, everything that we go through. I mean, everything is a learning experience. And if you don't take it as a learning experience and you think you got it all together, then you've missed it.
Yeah.
You completely missed it. Because nobody has it all together. And nobody has a 1-2 rule book on how to be married.
Yeah.
Because you're you and I'm me, so we're two individuals.
That's my favorite saying. I see. Pick that up there, huh?
No.
He picked it up there. So let's dive into this book real quick. Facing What's Beneath the Surface, Tugging Between Love and War. I noticed your chapters are real deep. You have a chapter called The Risk. What does that mean? What is that about?
Really, yeah. I mean, what are you putting yourself up for? And it's not so much of dealing with the other person or what are you getting into. It's really, what are you putting on the line? And the risk of what's being put on the line is you. Your feelings, your emotions. Before you even get into it, have you really considered that this is what I want?
So the risk is you risking.
Right.
You.
I mean, I deal with both of them, but I want the reader to actually see them. So I did it on the other person, but I also referred it back to them. Because if I have to consider what they're thinking, then I also have to consider what I'm thinking.
That's good. You have another chapter called The Expedition. What's that about?
Think about the car? No.
The truck?
Yeah, the truck. It's expedition is like a journey.
I was about to say, that's what I actually think about, an actual journey.
Yeah, we go through life. When you look at first getting together with somebody, I mean, it's brand new. Man, the trip, or you look at the journey can be so great. What we envision, what we want, what we planned out. I'm talking about we planned it out to the T.
Like, I can see myself with you. Oh my goodness.
But it don't always work like that. You go through bumps and bruises, and you go through
highs and lows.
You go through different roads of life to where you're just like, man, I really didn't know that person was like that. You start figuring each other out. So it's really, we say a roller coaster ride, but I mean, it's really a journey because you don't know sometimes what life is going to hand you. I mean, certain instances, certain things happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, are you willing to make the decision to continue to go through?
So that's the expedition. Got it. You have a chapter called infirmary, like the infirmary room. What is that? Like, that is so intriguing. Like, what's that about?
Oh, we didn't been through that stage. I mean, most of you probably even going through the stage right now, but I mean, man, that's a real trying time. Like, you know, it's almost to where you almost thinking about leaving, breaking up. That's when, you know, your marriage and everything goes through your mind, and you thinking, well, I know we got kids together, but I don't think that the kids or love gonna hold us together anymore.
Is it enough?
Yeah, it's almost,
is the kids enough?
It's almost like getting in an accident and you in the ICU room, like you don't even know if this person gonna make it or not.
Yeah,
I mean, your marriage and relationship is almost on life support.
Gotcha.
I mean, what do I do? Because in the infirmary room, everybody doesn't make it out alive.
That's a fact.
Some people die in the process.
Yeah.
So it's not so much as, you know how people say that, you know, certain people are on life support, that, you know, even though the machine is helping them out, sometimes they're waiting on them to start
breathing on
getting
their own.
back and, you know, breathe on their own. So it's the same thing, same concept. Sometimes it takes us to start regaining strength back after hurt. To see if we're going to carry on. But the only way you can carry on if there's value there. Like I wrote in the book, I was, you know, just a brief, and I was like, you know, I wouldn't advise anybody to just leave anything alone before considering working it out. And I'm not saying work it out in a toxic, abusive relationship. No, I mean if it's like that, you have to leave, because I mean your life is at jeopardy. But if this is a person that has real value, that that really brings the best out of you and you out of them, but they made a certain mistake, it can be devastating to you.
Right.
But they can really be sorry. And really be willing to fix it. But they have to be willing to fix it based on their commitment, and they have to show it. And like I said, most people don't last.
Man, the infirmary room sounds deep. Like, there's relationships in your marriage and your being engaged, being in a friendship. There's infirmary rooms in so many, a business, you know, a business relationship, any type, in ministry. And the infirmary room is so, like, deep, because it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna stay or I'm gonna go. Like, it's at that point where you have to make that decision on what we doing now, what's next, where we going from here. You know, am I good enough to keep this going, or what did I do wrong? How can I fix myself, and different things of that sort. So in the infirmary room, that's a place of reflection. There's a place, like, it's a desert place. It's a place of, can even be depression. It can be, you know, it's that whirlwind, it's that tornado, it's that everything is just coming together. You know how when they say, when people be like, okay, well, I had an accident, I almost died, I saw light flash in front of me, my life flash in front of me. The infirmary room is almost like your life flashing in front of you, your relationship flashing in front of you. You know,
it's really like that big, you know, like that big decision. You know, because I mean, if you ever been in a hospital where, you know, a loved one is about to die, they make you make a decision.
Yeah, you got to make a decision.
Either you keep them on life support,
or you pull a plug.
So that's sometimes how we deal with a relationship. Do I really count it that valuable to continue on dealing with this mess?
Or do I pull a plug?
Or do I really get over it? And sometimes when you got feelings involved and it's based upon the love concept of my emotions and feelings, you're going to always go with how you feel. But how you feel can always change tomorrow.
It always alters. Always.
So that's why you can't really rely on how you feel. You have to rely on how much. I'm saying value. I'm you know, like, and I wrote in the book about invest. It's really, look, how much have you invested in this thing? Because you won't put into what you haven't invested in.
And then you can't just be like, okay, well, I invested 4 years. I invested, you know, 10 years, and I got 3 kids, and so I can't leave all of that. I put no. People can't stay because they put in the years. Oh, I put in 10 years and I got 3 kids, so I'm gonna stay. No, that's not what makes you stay. You know, and people have to understand that part too. Intercourse. Is this sex? You talking about sex?
No. I mentioned nothing about sex.
Oh.
Nothing
Intercourse.
about
What's
about
that
sex.
about?
Because too many times that's the first thing our mind goes off.
Uh-huh.
You throw a man kibbles in business, that's exactly what you're going to get. Man always views the outward appearance of a woman. Oh man, she's fine.
She's fine.
And you got women nowadays do the
bad.
same exact thing. Oh, he has a nice car. So they always focus on the exterior of everything.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
When really, in order for you to get to intercourse, you first have to have a communication. You don't meet somebody and tell them, hey, come here. Let's go to, going to the hotel. No, you have to have a dialogue conversation. Mm-hmm. You have to feel a person out to see if we're compatible. Do we have the same interests? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like talk about it in relationship, but really with marriage, the reason why a lot of marriages are the way they are and they kind of like dwindling in a way is because of the simple fact that the communication level is poor.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, we say pillow talk, right? Like, oh, let's have pillow talk. But sometimes, yeah. But
let's have pillow talk.
I mean, if that's what they say. But I mean, when you're dealing with a person that have a career, mm-hmm. the husband works, the wife works. They come home and she has to cook and clean, like
kids.
How is there that much communication in it? And that's what I'm saying. We got to keep it interesting. And the whole reason why I did relationship and marriage, because this is how we look at it. When you're married, we already got the prize. Relationship, I'm pursuing to get the prize.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun in a relationship, but it gets boring in a marriage.
In a marriage, which is so weird.
When you should be really boring in a relationship, because you're trying to get to know the person. But in a marriage, it should be really fun.
Yeah, all out. Yeah, that's good. Tight restraints.
I really got to get into that?
No. You don't.
Well, we can get it. We can touch it.
It's totally up to you.
I use the word that we rarely hear anymore. I mean, you only hear it in church. And I did it on submission.
Come on, submission.
And I think that that's a real word that, most people think that I have to give control into a person or give them my control.
Submission is control. He gotta control me. I gotta cook his food and I gotta bring his food to him. Submit to him for what? I gotta listen to him, but I make my own money. But I do all of this. What you mean I gotta submit to him?
That's the average mind.
That is definitely the average mind.
And I totally flipped it. Because that is not the expectation of submission. It's a given thing. Mm-hmm. I don't want to control a person. They have to give me the control. Mm-hmm. And not so much as I want the control. No. It's given. It's like it's handed. It makes a person so vulnerable where I have the opportunity to do anything I want. But how will you use it? Mm-hmm. So that's what makes the person submit. Not so much as me telling you what to do and this and that. That ain't submission. Because you can be if you call that submission, then you can do that and not be totally in love or not be really into the person. Right. You're just doing what they say doing out of fear. Mm-hmm. So like the scripture say, hey, perfect love casts out all fear. So even though I'm submissive to a person, that don't mean I really give in to everything that they say because they say it. No, it has to be given. Mm-hmm. It's always given out. Just like love. Love always extends. It extends first.
Yeah.
It never waits on the other person to respond. No, it extends.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your reception is, it always extends.
And that's how submission is. Regardless of what is received or what the response is, you still...
Yeah, I mean, who really wants to fold clothes at home?
Right. And submission is not a one-way street. Because people think that only the woman submits or only the wife submits.
No.
But the husband submits as well. We submit unto each other.
Right. Well, Bible says that. Submit one to another. But most men use that as a rule of thumb. Oh, you're supposed to submit to me. Well, same thing with the man, same thing with the woman. Mm-hmm. It's no different. Sometimes we have to come to a mutual agreement, or sometimes, hey, I might want to buy something, and I want this, and she's gonna tell me no. But I may not be looking as it might be, I'm gonna get it. But it may not be a wise decision. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you know, that's why God give you a help me to actually look, you know, look beyond what you see. Because sometimes what you want is what you want. But sometimes it's not always the smartest decision. So you have somebody there to balance you out.
Yeah.
And really, that's what submission really is. No, I need somebody to really balance me out. You know, I don't want them. I don't need to be, you know, your demand. You know, I'm gonna demand you to do this and do that. No, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. The estimation. That's the last chapter.
Man, it's you.
You, me?
Not you.
Oh,
I'm saying you as the person.
The person.
Right. You know, working on the job, or you know, doing any kind of work is always the estimation of before you even want to purchase something. You know, like if you go to a car dealership and you ask like, "Hey, I need this fixed." What is the estimation on? So you want a general view of what it costs. So is you looking back at seeing what's the real cost of being in a relationship and marriage? Is it really worth it? Have I been in it long enough? Or should I just leave it be? And it's really your evaluation.
Oh, that's the evaluation stage.
You evaluating you.
Okay.
Not the relationship in general. Because you're a major part of the relationship. So you're really evaluating you. Have I really brought my all to the table? After going through the journey, after taking the risk, going through the journey, right? After going through the expedition stage and all that, through going through the infirmary room, to tight restraints, am I really, really giving everything that I got?
That's good.
And you really have to reevaluate off of every circumstance, every situation. You know, am I really giving it my best? Because when you like when we think about 10 years, we're just getting into the stage of where like, hey man, it's all or nothing. And it's 10 years. So you're in year 5 or maybe you're in year 3, you know, you have to really look at where we're going. I really have to look at, okay, what she brings to the table. What do he bring to the table? How much purpose can they bring to one vision? Because when you look at unity, you look at not unity is like you and I.
Right. It's not an individual thing.
It's not. It's not
together.
You do something and I have to agree to it. No, it's you and I.
What we do together.
When you look at the vision is two people with two separate visions. So it won't work. They will always clash. But when you have two purpose based upon one vision, it can work.
Yeah.
Because y'all have a general goal in mind. But you have to come to agreement because there are going to be some situations to where it has to fluctuate.
Yeah. That's real good. That's good. Thank you for that. For this synopsis of facing what's beneath the surface, tugging between love and war. The people have to get this book. But before we talk a little bit more about the book, we have a segment of the show called Truth or Tell, where we spill tea, more tea, and nothing but the tea. My husband is not a tea spiller, okay? He does not. However, we got some questions for him, so we're going to get a little tea out of him, just a little bit. So, we have these questions, and I'm going to let you pick a few of them out and answer them. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Would you date outside of your race? First of all, he ain't dating outside of nothing because he's married. Happily married at that. However, go ahead on and answer the question.
I ain't about to get in trouble. Next question.
Smart man. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
No? Why not?
Because you don't know the person.
So you think you got to know the person to love them? You can't see him and be like, oh my God. Because Steve Harvey said one time when he saw his wife at a comedy show, and he looked at her and he said, "I'm gonna marry her." He loved her from the time he saw her.
Well, I mean, that's not saying that that's the love of his life. I mean, they're just saying that, hey, he wanted her so bad that he pursued her.
Until she became his wife?
Yeah. So, I mean, that ain't, love at first sight, no. Because, like you said, this is emotions.
Yeah.
You can love today, and then when you get into a hot situation, hey, it'll be gone.
Out the window.
Yeah, so, no love at first sight. No.
Okay. When is it okay to pass gas?
Wow.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
It's never okay.
okay, two things. Women, we have this thing where first dates or when we first get around you and all of that, like we can have gas and we will hold it until we get away from you. Literally. We're not doing it around you. We're not doing any of those things. Are men the same way? If you're on a first date or not even a first date, if you've casually dated a few times and you have to pass gas, do you not do it and you wait till you get away? Or you step away and go do it? Or you say, listen.
I think men would step away for a couple of times, but after they feel comfortable, I think they just don't care. Look, you gotta accept me for who I am. They just nah.
There's some women who are like that too. Accept me for who I am. It is what it is.
Hey, it's
so
rude.
would you?
It's rude.
It's rude. So would that turn you off?
If we just all day, yeah, I'd be like, man, what the? Are you serious? You did that to me? Oh, wow.
And look, 10 years later married, 15 years in a relationship.
It must have been one of them silent ones.
Those are deadly though.
No, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
What is one of your biggest goals?
Now at this current moment, really, man, look, doing what God, really, my biggest goal is I want to pursue everything that God has for me, my life, for my family, and man, seeing my kids grow up and they living a life, because I think when you come to a certain age, most people, they want to see their kids succeed. Mm-hmm. They want to see their kids excel, don't get in no trouble. I mean, but sometimes that's always not the case. So, I mean, for me, I just want to walk out my God-given purpose. Whatever God got, whatever talent that He's given me, I want to do it and then give others, like make room for others. Like my whole thing is ministry, giving out and giving to people. And I think that we lack as a generation by doing so. We could be so gifted, so talented, and we could accomplish so much, and then we never give back to anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just giving back. I'm talking about really investing in people.
Mm-hmm.
Really investing.
I get it. I definitely get it. I think that's why I'm so how I am, like such a people, just right. Into that. We have that, but it's a God thing. So, on that note, that's it for Truth or Tell. Thank you so much for answering those questions. Thank you so much, babe, for coming on the show. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody about the book. Guys, this is a special book, not because it's my husband, but because there's a lack in our community. There's a lack in our generation. And together, we want to fill that gap. Together, we want to be able to show other couples and show other people who desire to be married, who desire relationships, who desire a happy marriage, what it takes, what it is, how to view you and, not the other person. This is this is a book for couples. This is a book for singles. This is a self-help book. This is it gets the job done completely. And the heart that came behind it, the spirit that's behind it, being led and guided by the Holy Spirit, this book will transform marriages. This book will transform individuals. This is the book. You need this book moving forward. And I just really, really, really urge you guys to get a copy of it, and let him know your feedback, and tell them, where could they find this book?
You can go on jdiggs.bigcartel.com
and order a copy of the book.
Yes, or Saturday and Sunday I'll be signing autographs. I have a booth at Mount Zion Baptist Church off of Highway 90. They're going to do their gospel festival, so we're going to be out there promoting the book and showcasing it. And I mean, even if people want to have hands-on conversation, I mean, that's fine. I'm all for it. I'm not biased by anything. So. And
what dates you said? Saturday and Sunday. What
Saturday
date
on
is
the
that?
25th and Sunday on the 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, come get
May 25th and May 26th.
Yeah, come get you a copy, because if you really never discover your value, you really don't know your worth. And if you do not know your worth, then you do not know what's in you. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what's in you, you can never face what's beneath the surface.
Yeah, that's real good. And what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is at jdiggs.
At
jdiggs 102.
Yep. So you can reach him. You can reach him on Instagram. You can DM him. You can ask him any questions. Come to the festival to get a copy on site. Take some pictures, guys. And this book, it will be on Barnes and Nobles. It will be on Amazon soon, and we will let you guys know about that as well. But I urge you to get this book. So thank you guys so much for watching Couch Conversations with Shatara. Thank you so much, babe, for coming on the show. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, until next time, bye.
Hop in that what? Hop in that what? This what I want y'all to do for me. This what I want y'all to do for me.